One of the most common questions I get, can I still drink coffee? Dr. D here with Phantom today. He's one of our sweetest and most loving new little kittens. But today we're not talking about kittens. I'd like to talk to you about one of the most common questions I get. Can I still drink coffee? Like a lot of people, you may have heard that you should stop drinking coffee. The most common concerns that I hear, sometimes even from well intentioned practitioners, is two major issues. One, often people hear that coffee damages your adrenals, and two, that coffee makes your body too acidic. Now, if you haven't already watched my video about alkalizing the body, you may want to watch that one as well. We'll post the link below. Today, though, I'm going to focus on what the science actually says about coffee, why it might even be beneficial, and in the end, I'll share my favorite anti-inflammatory coffee recipe to make your morning cup even healthier. So let's dive in. First, I'd like to start by clearing up the myths. Does coffee actually damage your adrenals? The answer is no, and here's why. This idea comes from what I call a thought experiment. It sounds like it could be true. Caffeine stimulates alertness and cortisol release from the adrenals, so it must push your body too hard, right? But science actually says otherwise. Caffeine doesn't directly stimulate your adrenal glands. It works by blocking something called adenosine receptors in the brain. This is what keeps you alert, but it doesn't force the adrenals to overproduce cortisol in a harmful way. In fact, studies show that people who regularly drink coffee have lower cortisol spikes over time because their bodies adapt. This is not stress or adrenal depletion. That's a misunderstanding. This is actually demonstrating your body's extremely intelligent adaptation. And remember, if coffee truly wore out the adrenals, we'd expect coffee drinkers to have worse outcomes in energy, inflammation, and long-term health. But research actually shows the opposite. Moderate coffee drinkers have better metabolic health, lower levels of inflammation, and lower rates of depression and other chronic diseases. So no, coffee doesn't damage your adrenals. That's a myth. Second, does coffee acidify your body? The answer to this is also no. Your body's pH is tightly regulated by your kidneys and your lungs. You simply can't make your body acidic or alkaline through food or drink alone. What you can do is influence local pH environments, like a tumor microenvironment in cancer, but that's a much more complex discussion. For a deeper dive into the topic of acidity versus alkalinity, check out my video on the myth of alkalizing the body. We'll link it below. And remember, I call these kinds of ideas thought experiments. They sound good in theory. They're often backed by brilliant thinking, but they aren't backed by science. And in health, science and research trump thought experiments every time. Let's talk about some of the science-backed benefits of coffee. I've got 10 amazing things here for you. One, coffee is an antioxidant powerhouse. It's actually the number one source of dietary antioxidants in many people's diets. I hope it's not in yours. It contains compounds that help reduce oxidative stress and protect your cells from DNA damage, which lead to other disease processes. Two, coffee is an excellent anti-inflammatory. The polyphenols in coffee actually help to regulate something in your body called cytokines, and they calm chronic inflammation, which is central to most chronic diseases. Number three, Coffee boosts metabolism. The caffeine in coffee helps to increase thermogenesis and fat oxidation, supporting healthy energy expenditure and weight management. Number four, coffee protects your DNA integrity. By reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, coffee helps protect your DNA from breaks and epigenetic mutations that can drive not just your risk of cancer, autoimmune disease, or dementia, but all the diseases that we get as we age. Number five, coffee supports heart health. Studies show moderate coffee intake is associated with reduced risks of stroke, heart failure, and coronary artery disease. Number six, coffee improves gut health. Coffee stimulates bowel motility and supports beneficial microbes like bifidobacterium in your microbiome. Number seven, coffee is neuroprotective. Regular coffee drinkers actually have lower risks of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Number eight, coffee enhances detoxification. If you've seen me, you know that I talk about detoxification a lot. Coffee activates the NRF2 pathway. It's a key regulator of antioxidant and detoxifying enzymes like glutathione, very important for your brain and for your detoxification liver pathways. Number nine, coffee regulates cell cycles. There have been compounds identified in coffee that actually help slow cancer cell proliferation and promote apoptosis. That means coffee slows down the ability of cancer cells to grow and to make more of themselves and stimulates the death of cancer cells. And number 10, coffee actually lowers your risk of cancer. Coffee drinkers enjoy a reduced risk of several types of cancers, most especially colorectal cancers, liver cancers, endometrial, and prostate. So there you have it. Amazing, right? But not all coffee is created equal. There are some important caveats to know when we're talking about coffee. There are basically three rules I want you to pay attention to. One, make sure the coffee you're drinking is organic. Coffee beans are naturally very oily. They absorb toxins, pesticides, herbicides, anything that is sprayed on them. So these environmental toxins are hidden drivers of chronic diseases, and we clearly want to reduce the impact of environmental toxins in our bodies. So make sure your coffee is organic. The second rule with coffee drinking is pick coffee that's tested for mold. I often see mold colonization in patients with cancer and autoimmune disease conditions. Mycotoxins, which come from mold, are potent disease activators. So opt for brands that test for mold and mycotoxins. Just do a quick Google search and you'll find them. And the third rule around coffee drinking is practice moderation. 1 or 2 cups of high quality coffee is fantastic. 6 cups a day, not so much. Balance is the key. And now for my favorite way to level up your cup of coffee. I like to use a non-dairy sugar-free creamer, an almond creamer or coconut milk creamer. And I add 2 tablespoons of collagen peptides and 1 tablespoon of MCT powder. The collagen peptides provide the essential building blocks for regeneration and repair of the gut, joints, skin, and connective tissue all over your body. This supports healing, reduces inflammation, and promotes anti-aging benefits like improved skin elasticity, better hydration, and structural integrity from the inside out. The second ingredient is MCTs, which stands for medium chain triglycerides. MCTs are rapidly absorbed fats that support clean energy production. They enhance your memory and brain clarity. They boost metabolism and fat burning, and may even improve mitochondrial function and gut health, making them a powerful addition to any healing or longevity protocol. When you add it all together, it makes a really creamy, satisfying drink and turns your coffee into a healing tonic. And if you're ready to learn more, you can download a free guide to coffee's health benefits. I made two handouts for you. One is the 10 benefits for coffee, great for general health, and the other is the 10 cancer specific benefits of coffee for anybody navigating a cancer journey. Click the links below to download one or both. And if you love these kinds of science backed insights, sign up for my newsletter to get more delivered straight to your inbox. You can hit the subscribe button below. So, if you're thinking of drinking coffee, maybe you should. For most people, the answer is yes, have that cup. When it's high quality, mold free, and in moderation. Coffee isn't the bad guy we've been led to believe. When used wisely, it can be a powerful ally in your healing journey. I hope this helps you to recover your health, reinvigorate your life, and regenerate your wholeness. I'm Dr. D, and I'll see you in the next video.